Hello everyone, welcome to CodeChef. Myself Jwala Charas, and today we are going to solve a problem which came into starters 212. The name of the problem is exit door and the problem code is P3BAR. The difficulty rating of the problem is cakewalk and the prerequisite is ad hoc. Let's start with reading the problem statement over here. So guys, problem says there are n people sitting in a single row inside a movie theater. Each person has a unique number from 1 to n representing the priority or importance. You are given a permutation P1, P2 till P of n, where P of I is the number of persons sitting in the ith seat from left to right. After the movie ends, people start leaving the hall one by one in order of decreasing number. That is, the person with the highest number leaves first, then the next highest, and so on. When a person leaves, they can go either to the left or to the right out of the row. They will choose the direction that minimizes the number of people they have to disturb. That is the number of people they must pass by. Your task is to determine the total number of times people were disturbed during this entire process. Input format: the first line of input contains a single integer t denoting the number of test cases. Each test case consists of two lines. The first line contains an integer n, the number of seats. The second line contains n space separate integers representing the permutation p1, p2 till p of n. Output format: for each test case, print a single integer, the total number of times people were disturbed when all people leaves in the described manner. Constraint: for t lies from 1 to 10 to the power 5. For n lies from 1 to 10, the sum of n overall test cases won't exceed 4 into 10 to the power 5. So guys, now let's understand the sample test case in the question more precisely over here. So guys, this question is very straightforward. It says there are n people sitting in a single row, some in some movie theater, okay, and each person has some unique number from n to n, 1 to n, okay, and we are given a permutation p1 till p1 where p1 till pn, where p of I is the number of the person sitting in the ith seat from left to right, okay. So after the movie ends, people start leaving the hall one by one in order of decreasing number. That is, the person with the highest number leaves first and then the next one, so basically in a decreasing order. So when a person leaves, they can go either I left or to the right. So out of row, they will choose the direction that minimize the number of people they have to disturb to leave that entire row, basically, okay. So our task is to determine the total number of people were disturbed during the entire process, okay. Now let's take the first test case. So in the first test case, we have got one, and as well as the permutation is one, okay. So for the first test case, one of the optimal possibility is that person with that the person, if I say that the person one moves to left, okay, the person one will always move to left. It will moves to left by disturbing zero people, okay. So it just moves to left because there are no person, so it will disturb how many? Zero people, okay. So output is simple, zero for this first test case, okay. Now let's take the last test case to be more clear, okay. Okay, so if we'll take a last test case, let me make it, okay. So in the last test case, that is this one, over here, we have got total 5, and the values are 1, 5, 3, 4, and 2, okay. So as it says, it goes, people with the highest number will go first, so 5 will go first, right? So 5 will go first, okay. So person 5 will move to the left, it will disturb person 1, right? And person 4 will move to the right, it disturbs person 2, right? And person 3 moves to the right, disturbing 1 people. And person 2 can go to the right, disturbing 0 people, and person 1 can go to the right, or okay, or to the person 1 moves towards the left, basically, okay. So zero people. So in total, how many disturbance happened? Right, three disturbance. Right, five did the disturbance, four did the disturbance, and three did the disturbance. Right. So output is simply three for this test case. So guys, I think the test cases are pretty much clear. Now let's move toward the simple solution. So this is a simple implementation task, guys. So let's get, it's enough to do exactly what statement asks for, simple simulation. That means let's consider people from n down to 1, since that is the order they exist in, right? So that is in decreasing order. And suppose we are currently looking at person x to let pause of x with the position of person x. we now need to count the number of people remaining both to the left and to the right of person x. Recall that at this point, all people greater than x have left already. So the number of people remaining to the left is given by the count of I such that I is lesser than pos of x and p of I is lesser than x. Let this count be L. The number of people remaining to the right is given by the count of I such that I is greater than pos of x and p of I is lesser than x. And let this count be R. So person X will then disturb either L or R people depending on which direction is chosen, and we are aiming to minimize the total disturbance. So clearly we choose whichever is smaller, that is minimum of L comma R. So we'll perform the above computation for each of the person and add up to the answer. Simple simulation we do. Yeah, and this n square solution will work. So guys, I think the solution is pretty much clear. Now let's move toward the simple C++ code. So guys, this is my simple C++ code. I took the input for all the test cases as well as my array. Yeah, I initialize answer equal to 0. I'm running a for loop and finding the position for x. Yeah, and checking the count greater than 0 on the right side. Okay, and as well as on the left side. And at the last, I'm simply marking element as removed and adding up to the minimum of left and right to the answer. And after last, I'm simply printing the answer. And as you can see that guys, I have got my C++ code right. Now let's move towards the Python code. So guys, this is my similar Python code as per the explanation. I took the input for all the test cases as well as my array for all the persons. I initialize answer equal to 0. I'm running a for loop. I'm initialize pos equal to 0. That's the position of person X. And initialize left and right position. Yeah. I'm checking for my for loops, and the last I'm simply adding up the minimum of left and right to my answer, and at the last I'm simply printing my answer. And as you can see that guys, I have got my Python code right. So guys, I think the solution, the code and the approach is pretty much clear. Now let's meet in the next video. Thank you so much guys for watching our videos.